the Tuesday lineup of college basketball, and we're going to get right into it. This is the prediction show, and no goofing off, no monkey business. That's our new motto. Let's get to game one here. Florida Atlantic hosting Old Dominion. The line is 6.5. Computer says it's only a 6-point win. We're taking the dog ODU. Next game is Clemson hosting North Carolina, laying a half a point. And we say North Carolina wins the game at Clemson. And that's a money line because we're on the other side of the line. We're betting the underdog to win. And that's a money line. And this one's not going to pay very well. Probably $105 for every, you bet 100, you're going to get 105 back. Some of these other money lines, like 3.5, man, that's going to be way more than that. But I mean, we're walking the line here. So Vegas isn't going to be too generous if they lose a money line here. They're not dummies up there. Okay, Connecticut at home to Marquette, 5.5's the line. Computer says UConn by 8, so that's our play, UConn. Auburn at Fayetteville, Arkansas, laying 2.5 to the home Razorbacks, and computer says Auburn wins by 7, so we're taking Auburn here on the road against Arkansas. Kent State at home to Bowling Green, laying 6.5. Computer says just a 4-point game, so that's Bowling Green taking the underdog there. Ball State hosting Central Michigan. We think this is going to be an easy cover. 10.5 is the line. Computer says 16. Take Ball State. Buffalo hosting Eastern Michigan. 12.5. Maybe a bridge too far. We say it's a 10-point game. We're taking the dog, Eastern Michigan. Indiana State hosting Evansville. Both teams kind of down. Mediocre, maybe a little less than mediocre. But the line is 9.5. Computer says 6. We're taking Evansville here. St. Bonaventure hosting Fordham. Man, just again, kind of like this game, just too many points. So we say it's a 6-point game, and so we're taking Fordham here. West Virginia continues this meat grinder schedule that they're on. They've played them. They played Baylor and Kansas and Texas and Oklahoma and Iowa State. I mean, it's just rapid fire. Monster after monster. And the list continues. Here's Iowa State, who I really like. I think Iowa State's a good team. But they're at West Virginia. West Virginia's laying 1.5 because the bleeding's got to stop sometime. You're bound to get a victory in here sometime. But we think Iowa State continues the pounding and wins the game, and it's a money line opportunity for us. We're taking Iowa State here. Liberty hosting Lipscomb, 15.5's the line. Easy cover for Liberty. That's our play. LSU at Texas A&M. Talk about the bleeding in West Virginia. Texas A&M's on like a 6-game skid. And LSU, who we're mad at, right? We're really mad at LSU. They just had some crazy numbers. And then they got into SEC action, and they just can't seem to win a game anymore. But they're traveling to Texas A&M and laying 2.5. And so we're a little bit deceived here by the non-conference schedule that LSU played that was just laughable. But they just absolutely annihilated teams. So we're a little bit deceived here with this 11 points. So I don't know what to think. I wish I could give you better advice. The computer says take LSU. No line here. Ryder hosting Manhattan, and hopefully when the line does come, we'll be able to make this a play. Same thing here. No line yet. And Monmouth hosting Marist. We say 7-point game, Monmouth. Another money line play here. The two best teams in the Mid-America, in my opinion, is Toledo and Ohio. This game's at Ohio. Ohio laying 3.5. We say Toledo, the underdog, wins by a point. And so that's our play. We're taking Toledo, and we're going to collect our money line there. And if we do, we're at 97 money line wins. This is since December 28th when I felt we had enough data we could proceed with the contest. Since then, we've had 97 money line plays. So we're closing in on that 100. And if all things go right, this would be our 100th money line win. But we'll see. We'll see. TCU hosting Oklahoma State, laying 2.5. Man, it's got to be tough if you're in Vegas. That's a really hard game to handicap. We ran the numbers, got a point, and so we're taking the dog here. Oklahoma State at TCU. VCU hosting Rhode Island, two really good teams, laying 6.5. Again, just a little too many, a little too much, a little too generous by Vegas. I think they're trying to lure people in, and catch them. But we say it's a 2-point game, so we're taking the dog again, taking Rhode Island. St. Louis just too good here for LaSalle. Man, St. Louis on the road and laying 8.5, and we still say that's not enough. And so St. Louis is our play, and we're pretty firm about that. So I'd consider St. Louis there. Kentucky at South Carolina, laying 2.5 again. They're so good. And it's, South Carolina's got some signs of life, but they're not Kentucky good. No way. No way. So we're taking Kentucky and laying the 10.5. Michigan State at home to Wisconsin, laying 4.5. We think it's going to be a 2-point game, and I wouldn't be surprised if that goes that way. So we're taking the dog. We're taking Wisconsin. Miami of Ohio hosting Western Michigan. The line's 10.5. We say 15, so we're taking Miami of Ohio. Sticking in the Mid-America here, Northern Illinois at home to Akron. Akron laying 7.5. We say victory for Akron. That's our play, Akron. How many times I say Akron there? This one I'm not so sure about. Syracuse, who's like 10 and they're like 12 and 10, just right there at 500. Boston College hosting Syracuse. We're not factoring in the home court advantage here. That's what gives me some pause here. But Syracuse laying 3.5 on the road. Computer says 9-point game. Something tells me that Boston College is not gonna just let Syracuse come in and pound them. So Syracuse is our play. I don't intend on winning this game, or I don't think I'm going to win that game. Tulsa hosting East Carolina. This one I feel real good about. 5.5 is the line. We say 3-point game. We're taking dog, East Carolina. Kansas City on the road to St. Thomas. Laying 1.5. We say Kansas City, UMKC, whatever you wish to call them. We say they, UMKC, wins and covers. So we're taking Kansas City. I think they're trying to get away from the UMKC. That's how all these teams are built exactly the way ESPN says. So like PFW, that's how, that's Purdue Fort Wayne. That's how ESPN refers to them. So I just kind of built it around that. We got McNeese and Nichols, no longer are they McNeese State and Nichols State. And they got Tarleton, who's new, used to be Tarleton State, but they dropped the state. At least on ESPN they did, just following the lead here. Villanova on the road against St. John's, laying 4.5. We say Villanova is so good, and they are. They're going to cover that 4.5 win by 12. So Nova's our play. Creighton at home hosting Butler, laying 7.5. We think that's a cover for Creighton, so we're taking Creighton. Purdue, here's a great game. Purdue at home to Illinois. It just depends if Illinois wants to go to Purdue and fight. We'll see. But I think you always want to play your best against the best. And these teams are both really, really good. And if they both show up to play, it's going to be a whale of a ball game. Vegas is Purdue by 5.5, and we say not so fast. We think it's going to be a 3-point game. So we're taking Illinois here. I don't know what Vegas is thinking, but here's Northwestern at home to Indiana, laying 0.5 point. Indiana's a better team than Northwestern, but they are at Northwestern. I think that's what the whole mindset is here. This is nothing but a home court advantage play by Vegas. We think Indiana wins. They're the underdog, so that's a money line opportunity. We got a number of them tonight. If we don't get to 100 on Tuesday, I'd be really surprised. Just at the clip that we're winning them. Michigan on the road at Penn State, laying 1.5. And we say Michigan prevails with a 5-point victory, so we're taking the Wolverines. Vanderbilt hosting Missouri, 7.5 is the line. We say Vandy wins by 12. That's our play, Vandy. This game's it's going to be full of twists and turns, I believe. Utah State has been out of its mind lately. It's so good. But Wyoming, man, they just cruised into Fresno and took a win right out of the from the Bulldogs there. Both teams playing really well. Wyoming at home, they do get they are laying 2.5 to Utah State, but man, is Utah State on fire. We think Utah State gets a 1-point victory here, and so it's a money line, and we're taking Utah State. UCS, good team. Wichita, of course, is Wichita, always a good team. This game is at Central Florida, and they're laying 1.5, but we think Wichita State's going to overcome the road and prevail here by 3. So we're taking another money line. We're taking Wichita State. We're not seeking these out, incidentally, the money lines. They're just coming to us. I mean, Wichita, here's a great example. Wichita's just got way better numbers than UCF, but the game is, and if this game was at a neutral court, Vegas would have Wichita State laying points. But since it's at Central Florida, Vegas has UCF laying points. So it's nothing but a home court advantage thing, just like that Northwestern game was. UNLV at home hosting Air Force, laying 10.5. We think it's an easy cover for the running Rebels. So that's our play, UNLV. Another money line play here. The Cal State Fullerton has slightly better numbers than Long Beach State. Wait a minute. Wait one dang minute. I'm going to have to come back to this, and we're going to go through, because I think I have Fullerton winning here, and I just forgot to flip them. We're going to run that prediction, and we're going to get that one right. Okay, USF. At home to Portland, they just played, like 2 nights ago at Portland and San Francisco. They're a really good team. USF, folks, is good. And I sure hope they make the tournament because they're gonna impress people. 17.5 is the line. We thought at home is going to play more than the line and cover. So that's our play, USF. Why this game is getting played, I don't know. USC playing Pacific, Pac-12 team playing. This is the only non-conference game on the schedule. It's been the only non-conference game for weeks. I don't know where this came from, but USC hosting Pacific, West Coast Conference versus Pac-12. Whatever. USC, folks, they're really good. 19.5 is the line, and we think USC covers that easy, and prevails. Colorado State, really good team. On the road to Nevada, laying 4.5. We think it's a 15-point victory. Play Colorado State. Take them. Take the Rams. They're good. St. Mary's on the road to Santa Clara, 2.5, laying 2.5. We think it's a 6-point victory. I like Santa Clara, but St. Mary's has people in places I don't know that everyone has answers for. And if you can't match up with their bigs, I think that's going to be a closer game than in reality because St. Mary's is big. UCLA, though, no line here yet on UCLA and Stanford. We think this game's at Stanford. We think UCLA wins 73-59. Okay, let's go do this. Long Beach State and Cal State Fullerton. So here's what we do. So I'm going to go check the line on this just to make sure I have this correct. And Long Beach State is laying 1.5 to Fullerton. And what does this say? I forgot to switch these, but let's just double check. So when we get here, we go like this. We take the favorite and put in the underdog, and we go and grab the favorites OPR, and these are 2 Big West teams. So let's go into the Big West and go grab Long Beach State. So here, when we're here, here's what happens. Here's Long Beach State. I look at them, 11.66. Okay, that's their overall power rating. And the lower the number, the better the team. So I make a decision here. Instead of Long Beach State, I'm taking Cal State Fullerton. They've played 18 games. Okay. So we come back over here and we flip them. CSUF, Cal State Fullerton, Long Beach State University. Now we flipped them. Now we use Cal State Fullerton's numbers up here. And let's go get their points for on the year and their points against. And I just simply auto sum that and remember this number, 1189. So when I come back here, I don't have to remember that points for because I auto summed it in there. Okay, now let's go get Long Beach State's numbers. Back to the Big West. Here's Long Beach State, 11.66. And here's 11.66 down here. They've played 19 games. Now we just need their points for and points against on the year. So I only have to remember, say I auto summed it. You know, whatever I hit this button, whatever I put here goes in the spot that I want. Then I just have to remember 14, 15. Right? You see how it's going to populate that? Yeah. Okay. And I just have to remember 14, 15. We say Cal State Fullerton is going to beat Long Beach State 72 to 67. Okay. So here we put the score in, but we failed to flip these teams. So let's do it now. So Cal State Fullerton on the road versus Long Beach State. Now it's correct. So that's the money line. We think Cal State Fullerton, based on their numbers, is a better team than Long Beach State. The game is at Long Beach State, but we think that they overcome the travel, the unfamiliar surroundings, the slept in a hotel room that night, even though they wouldn't do that. These teams aren't that far apart. The not having your buddies around, you know, whatever causes these 20-year-old athletes to just mail in games because they're so tired on the road, whatever it is, we think Cal State Fullerton overcomes it. So that is our prediction show. Now, I'm going to check these lines, and these lines are going to change. Some of them will change, and I have to populate these. And I will try to come back, and when I do an update, I'll try to come back and update where we're at on here. And it's actually Monday night as I record this, and a lot of games haven't gone final Monday night yet. So I have time. These are early lines, so they're bound to change. So, and that's good. I get these early lines. It's when you get the best deals. You know, these, whatever the public bets it one way, Vegas will react, or smart money moves in and pushes the line. I want to be able to take the best line that's most advantageous for the computer. So I will come back probably in the morning and maybe do another prediction show on Tuesday, and just to get it out there nice and accurate. And if I can't do the show, I won't change these. So that's going to be it for tonight. 18 minutes. Trying to get it nice and tight. That's why there's no more monkey business going on. So that we're going to end it here, and we're going to bid you an adieu and watch for the wrap-up show for Monday's action. I'll have that later tonight. And so we'll talk to you then. Talk to you later.